Kia ora tātou te whānau o Aotearoa, tēnā koutou, e ngā mihi te rangatira o te motu. Tēnā koutou katoa. Firstly, Dame Susan, thank you very much again for the opportunity to be one of the sponsors of this awesome event, but also the opportunity to get up here in front of all of you to say a few words, but also to talk to the importance of policing in New Zealand and what it means and what we have to offer. Again, I want to acknowledge all of you in the room and, of course, our most awesome guest speaker, Mr. Ding Adot. What a wonderful story you have to tell. So brilliant that you could be here to share that. It's awesome to have our name up with all of the co-sponsors. So I want to acknowledge you all too for making today happen. And I want to talk about the role of policing in the community, why it's so important. Quite recently, I was in the UK, and it was only days after the Brexit vote. And you'll all have a view on that. But what struck me and what really concerned me was what it was saying about communities. And it worried me in terms of how people were thinking about their brothers and sisters, their neighbours, their fellow community members. I was also in the US recently meeting with my colleagues there. And there's real community disharmony, and the police are right in the middle of it. You've all seen the news. So disharmony amongst the black community, the white community, and law enforcement, and not reflecting very well at all on law enforcement. Now, we're not in that place. We're in a very good place, and despite what you might have heard on the TV and the radio last night with burglaries increasing, we do live in a very safe society. But the point I want to make is that the police have a huge role to play in that community harmony, people feeling safe. But what is that role? Now, there was something came out of the Boston police a few days ago, where they said they really want to move from being warriors to guardians. Now, it does worry me that police forces have seen themselves as warriors. Great that they want to move to guardians, but I'd like to think we moved from that mindset, I think, in the 1800s when we moved to be a police service. Because we align ourselves to Sir Robert Peel way back then, who said, the police are the community and the community are the police. We are here to serve you, and we get our consent from you. It's not from the Queen, it's not from the Governor-General, it's not from the Prime Minister, and it's not from the Minister of Police. We police with your consent. We are only here to serve you and make you safe. Behind me is our police plan. We call it our business. It's what we're here for, it's what we stand for. So I just want to talk to that a little bit and relate it back to what's going on in our communities. So we're really focused, and we've come a long way to set a foundation as to how we work in partnership with all of you to keep you safe. And that doesn't just mean safe from crime, safe from harm, safe on the roads. It's a lot more than that. And you will see up behind you that we have 6 values: professionalism, respect, integrity, commitment to Māori and the treaty. Now those 4 have been there for a long time. But most recently we added 2 more. One was empathy, and one was valuing diversity. You might say, well, why did you do that? It's because that's what we're about. That's what our plan says. We are here, we stand for diversity. Why diversity is so important to us in our workplace is because we stand for it. So therefore, we must have a really diverse workforce. When you look at us, we want to see you looking back, or you want us looking back at you. That's why we have set some real targets in terms of the diversity. We want absolute gender equity in the organisation. We've got a wee way to go, but right now we're trying to get 50% women in every recruit course. We do a lot better with ethnic and cultural diversity, but still we need to improve that. Again, why? Because we must reflect you because we represent you. And also because we get a lot better decisions. But the theme of today is the future. So a plan's great. We've won some awards recently. Won the Supreme Diversity Award. We're really proud of that. We won public sector awards for diversity. But a plan and awards mean nothing until the culture in our organisation is absolutely what our values talk to. So we're setting that foundation piece. Our people must live the values of the organisation. We've also rebuilt the organisation. So you all know Wally Homaha. He is the Deputy Chief Executive, so he's part of the police executive. And apart from being a really important member of the top table, he is there to ensure that we have great representation and great partnerships with all Māori, Pacific and ethnic services. And he's got a big team behind him. Why did we do that? Because that's hugely important for what I've talked to. But again, awards and plans mean nothing until the culture of the 12,000 people in our organisation live every value we've got up there in order to keep you safe. You would have seen on media over the weekend in the last few days a police officer who appeared to push a young, I think a Pacific Island teenager off his bike. Now, I'm not going to talk about that because, there's something going on. I won't talk about it specifically. But as an example of the values we want in our organisation, that is not one of them. There's 11,999 people who work in our organisation who go, I'd rather wish that hadn't happened. That's not what we're about. That's not what we stand for. Hey, we'll deal with that over there. We'll deal with it. But that's not the culture we want to lead in our organisation. It's one that lives every one of those police values, and every member of the police service is committed to that. Now, we're changing some things around the way we lead. So if I go back to warriors, it's police services around the world, police forces are very much command and control. It's the way we grew up. It's all about command and control leadership. That's really important, actually, in about 5% of what we do. Crisis situations, really important. Something really serious is happening, you do that. 95% of our business, not so much. We are moving to a whole different leadership style, where we trust everyone in our organisation to do the right thing. And this plan that you see behind you is the entire framework. So if all of our people come to work and know that we're there to serve you, to keep you safe, and build your trust and confidence, which gives us the consent to police on your behalf, and we live our values every day to build that trust and confidence and keep you safe, then that's all they need to know. They don't need to be told every day. It's what we call more principle-based leadership than prescriptive command leadership. Now, that's a real shift in any organisation. But it is a culture shift, and it will only happen with the right leadership and the right support from the community. So that's the commitment I make to you. That's what we're driving in our organisation on your behalf. And I think it's so relevant to the theme of this conference, Dame Susan. So I want to acknowledge you for this and your people, and just commit to you that that's the police service that we're building on your behalf. Kia ora tātou.